Hey, thanks for coming back and seeing us at the Horror Debate. I am Jeff Rowdy Jake here, and alongside me, Michael Mandy.
And this week we are debating, requested by one of our listeners, Dead and Buried from 1981, starring James Ferrantino, and also having some scenes with our own Freddy Krueger. Robert Englund was in this as a... He wasn't even good enough to get his name at the front of the credits.
A really young Freddy Krueger, I'll tell you that.
And a bunch of other people, you probably won't know their names, but you'll go, oh yeah, that guy was a cop on like a TV show. Or,
yep.
Oh, I know that guy. He was in a movie, and I know that
Like
guy.
the chick from Flash Gordon?
And yeah, the wife was Dale Arden in the Queen Flash Gordon from, what was it,
Pretty
1979? Girl. And also Jack Albertson was in this. He's the old guy. He was the man in Chico and the Man.
Mm-hmm. So really, we've got kind of like Reanimator before Reanimator.
Yeah, this was a movie about, well, you're not supposed to know it's about reanimation, but it's basically, you know, a cop in a small town and bodies start, people start dying. And
I gotta say, I like the small town vibe generally in these movies, and I like the cop who's frantically trying to figure out what's going on. All these bodies turned up. You know, I love that. That's what Halloween, 4 had? Remember the sheriff in there in Haddonfield, the new sheriff trying to figure out what's going on? He's frantically running all over town. Bodies are piling up. Vigilantes are on the street. That's what this reminded me of a little bit, and I like that. I like that, especially, you know, the foggy coastal town.
And not only that, this whole film, one thing, I don't know if it bugged me or whatever, they were going for an atmosphere, like you said, the foggy coastal town. Everything is shot in soft focus in this film.
Yeah.
Did you notice that? The quality of the film was all grainy, but it was shot purposely in soft focus.
Very soft.
It's kind
I
of,
wish they would have, they got to get in the habit when you're releasing like a double disc edition of something.
Yeah, this was the Blue Underground Special Edition 2-disc version.
But remaster it.
I paid extra for this.
Remaster it, Mike. You know, I mean, I don't want to see grain in the picture when I'm watching something on DVD.
Oh, another name that this movie
had. It looked like a VHS copy.
Another movie this name had, the reason why it's probably being released and why people revere it so much is Dan O'Bannon was one of the writers of this. He's the guy who wrote Alien.
Right.
And then he also did Return of the Living Dead, which I liked. He didn't.
Oh, God.
Go listen to that one.
Run.
But, Dan O'Bannon. So, anyways.
Well, so we got the small town thing going on. We've got bodies piling up, but we're not sure why.
And neither does he.
Yeah, you're not sure why. You're kind of put in the same perspective as the police officer, the sheriff, or whatever he is, you know. And I was a little bugged by that because all we saw was these bodies, you know, people getting killed, this gang of people coming and killing them.
And taking photographs of them as they're dying.
Yeah, and then off they go,
you got to admit, this movie starts off with, you know, within 3 minutes of the opening credits, it grabbed your attention.
But wait a minute. They disappear for a while.
Yeah.
Like they go to catering or something. Then they come back, and they're all healed. They all look normal. You know,
it's a
so
mystery.
You're trying to figure out what's going on.
That's right. This whole movie, you're trying to figure out what's going on.
Yeah, which I like.
Yeah,
which I liked. You know, acting wise, I love the cop.
Yeah, James Ferrantino. He's been around.
I thought he did a great job.
He's been around a long time.
Except for that bust he had. we were reading somewhere where the guy got arrested for having cocaine sent to his room.
Yeah, and also he was accused of stalking Nancy Sinatra. I remember that.
Oh, nice. Nice.
So, anyways, he did an admirable job.
I thought he did a great job. For 1981, I'd have to say the special effects and everything were kind of mixed mash. You know, you had some good ones and you had some real awful, poor ones.
Yeah, Stan Winston did the effects on this. He's credited for all of them, but I've got to watch that second edition because I don't believe he did that one really obvious mannequin head.
Oh, that was terrible, Mike.
I mean, that looks like something that I would have done.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
But he did a heck of a job on that other one with the guy totally in bandages and just his eye and part of his teeth showing.
Yeah, that wasn't even real.
Yeah.
There wasn't even a real person in there.
That was awesome job.
That was killer.
That actually is in a couple other of those horror anthology movies. That one scene.
Well, you know what? I was subtly impressed. That's the way I'm going to put it. You know, older movies to me sometimes they drag on. This one started to get in that drag on category a little bit, but it was entertaining. It did have a story, and it was a mystery, as we said, so it kept me going. You know, I looked over at you a couple times and went, "What are we doing?"
Yeah, it's funny. Some of the music cues in this movie looked to me like it should have been a ABC Sunday night movie.
I was thinking like an extended edition of like a Twilight Zone.
Yeah,
kind of thing.
or a Tales from the Crypt or something, because it really was a 1 hour movie stretched into an hour and a half movie.
Yeah.
They would have something happen. Like, if something happened to James Ferrantino, he would chase after this guy. He'd be in this weird, mysterious house. You could go and grab a bite to eat and come back 5 minutes later. He's still walking through the same house, still looking around slowly.
Right.
A family gets terrorized by these people. They run and try to escape from them. They're walking around going, "Is anyone here? Is anyone here? We need help." For
Right.
what, 20 minutes?
I know. Well,
Is anyone here?
Mike, though,
You know,
hey, it was a pretty house.
Oh, yeah. Well, no, James Ferrantino's house.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, James Ferrantino
How many
and Dale
times
Arden's
do you say
house.
that throughout the film?
Oh, yeah, that's a
that's
beautiful...
a pretty house.
Yeah, I gotta find that house, take a photo of myself in
So
front
I'm
of it.
thinking this was like an East Coast thing because they were talking about going upstate.
But you know, it was filmed in Mendocino County on the West Coast.
I figured,
Fort Bragg.
but the story was supposed to be on the East Coast.
a little New England.
We were trying to
fisher
figure
town.
out where this place was, and I'm thinking like Boston area, something like that. I mean, it's kind of the way it looked to me, by the architecture and
Maine.
everything. But yeah, I mean, I don't have a lot to say about this one, Mike. This was kind of like.
Did you like it or not?
I'm on the side of like. It wasn't spectacular, but it didn't suck. You know,
That's good. It didn't suck.
And I thought it was much more respectable than what I thought it was going to be.
Yeah, to me, it was an overblown TV movie. I
Yeah.
mean, even some of the music cues.
Oh yeah,
You knew something bad was happening because the cellos came in.
Yeah.
You know,
I can't really recommend this film, Mike.
Yeah.
I can't really go to my buddies and say, "Hey, check out Dead and Buried." You know.
This film will not rock your world.
No, but what it did do for people who like what I like, you know, I'm very specific sometimes in what I like in these films, and this would have been, you know, it is. I mean, it really is. It's something that I would watch probably one more time and then never watch it again.
Or
You
at
know?
least just pull it out to show your friends that one scene in the hospital.
Yeah, right.
You guys got to check this one
right.
scene out. Okay, now let's go play cards.
Yeah, the guy with no lips.
Yeah.
Right? He got burned. Right? Yeah. So, you know, there were certainly some highlights in this movie. I think that overall, I'm going to give this 2 stars.
Yeah.
You know, it's entertaining, but I'm not saying it's going to be entertaining to everybody. I like, as I said before, I like that small town sheriff vibe.
Yeah.
I like that. Especially on those coastal towns with the fog and the bad weather, and you know, it makes for a good sit down, be warm, be comfortable, grab something to eat kind of mystery.
Well, when you're watching a movie that has that kind of vibe, you ever notice this? When you see in a movie theater a movie that's well done and it takes place in winter and the wind is blowing everything, you feel cold.
Absolutely.
And this movie makes you smell salt air.
However, today
know?
I felt cold because your air conditioner is just blowing like crazy, dude.
I love it.
Unbelievable.
Anything
man.
over 68 degrees, I start to sweat.
Well,
man.
I like it cold, but I mean, your house is frigid, okay? I'm just going to tell you that right now, okay? But no, I thought you were trying to like add to the mood, to the movie or something. You know, I had no idea what was going on. Yeah, it's a 2-star film. I would say, you know, if you haven't seen it and you have nothing better to do, you know, check it out. I don't think it's going to totally disappoint you. It may bore you a little bit in certain parts, but
yeah,
it's worth getting through. I was fairly impressed. 90 minutes, I don't feel like I wasted my time.
All right. Me too. I think it could have been trimmed down just a bit, but it's a darn good ABC Monday night, Sunday night movie of the week. They don't have those anymore, do they?
Did you love the mortician?
Yeah, the old guy.
Love the mortician. This guy was off his freaking tree, right?
Yeah,
I loved the old guy, right?
Yeah, Jack Albertson.
Oh my goodness, he out of his tree, but a good character, man. That was the other thing, Mike, is that the characterization in this movie was done really well.
Yeah.
There was a lot of really distinct characters that you will remember.
Personalities, a lot of people.
Absolutely, that you'll remember long after watching the film. You know, I don't have a lot of negative things to say, except, you know, like I said, and don't take one of our listeners, by the way, emailed specifically to me and said, you know, a transfer doesn't make a movie. You know, because I'm always talking about how good something looks or how bad it looks or how grainy the picture is or the sound and things like that. And I'm like, no, but what it can do if used properly is it can set a mood, okay? You can have aural effects and visual effects that make a mood. In this particular instance, as I said, the transfer was terrible.
Oh, it was horrible.
To DVD.
It was so grainy.
But you still
and we got it on a big giant screen.
Yeah, but I thought it was snowing when it wasn't.
Yeah.
There was so much snow in the picture, you know, but it looked like, you know, you had turned to like a channel, like if you had rabbit ears, you know, and you were trying to watch this on TV or something for free, you cheapskate. You know what I'm saying? But I'll tell you what, this movie, like I said, had enough vibe in it, built in, that the transfer really didn't matter. It didn't get in the way. I mean, you still totally felt the vibe. That's why I'm loving that kind of thing. That's why I love movies that have that vibe, because you get into it, you get into the story more, you know. And I'm not saying this is a believable story, because it ain't.
It's not.
But what I'm saying is that you feel like, wow, man, you know, this it looks like a real setting with real people with good characterization. Even the kids did a good job. You know, I mean, a relatively good job.
Yep.
So, yeah, I'm down. 2 stars.
Yeah, it's a 2-star film. All right. I'm Michael Mandy. He's Rowdy Jeff. We'll talk to you next week at the Horror Debate.